So Amazon FBA is pretty much dead in 2025 unless you adapt and you change the way that you are doing things. So in this video, right, I am going to be diving into a few key things. I'm going to be talking about the key problems with Amazon FBA in 2025. I'm not going to be sugarcoating it. And for full transparency, we have an Amazon FBA community where we teach people how to do Amazon FBA, but I'm not going to be sugarcoating it just to promote my community. I'm going to be telling you the truth and the reality of Amazon FBA in 2025. But then I'm going to be talking about why I don't think Amazon or Amazon FBA is ever really going to die, or at least anytime soon, right? And then what I'm going to be doing is talking you through the actual solution. Because if you're watching this video and you're like getting excited about selling on Amazon or starting an e-com brand, and you're like, is it still possible? Is there any point in me doing it, or should I just go and do something else? I'm going to be talking about a solution that you can use and the best way, in my opinion, to approach selling on Amazon in 2025. And you might be thinking, well, why should I listen to you? You're just another online guru. That might be true, right? But I'm going to show you our results. So yesterday, March the 1st, we did nearly $10,000 in sales with one of our Amazon brands across Amazon, but also Shopify, because we don't just sell on Amazon. So as you can see here, I'll refresh it. This is our Sellerize account. We did nearly we did over $7,000 in sales, nearly $2,400 in profit for a 33% margin. So that was on Amazon. And then on Shopify, we did nearly $3,000 in sales. So combined, we did almost $10,000 in sales. This is our Lifetimely account, which basically combines our Amazon and our Shopify. So we basically did nearly $10,000 in sales yesterday, and we did nearly $3,000 in profit, right? So look, am I at the top of the tree of e-commerce? Am I doing $50 million a year? No, but I'm doing pretty well, and I kind of think I know what I'm talking about. So we're going to dive into these three key areas, right? And the first one is why I think Amazon FBA is never truly going to die. And it's not a clickbait title. I'm just going to tell you the truth, right? I don't think Amazon FBA is going to die anytime soon because of the size of Amazon. Amazon have got nearly 50% of the market share of e-commerce. So that means that pretty much half of online transactions, at least in the US, go through Amazon, right? Amazon is just so big and it's used by so many people that it's not going to disappear anytime soon, right? 80% plus of of US households have got Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is basically just like having Netflix at this point. Like everybody has got it pretty much. It's the easiest platform to shop on. They've made it so easy to just go on, search, couple of clicks, and the next day it arrives, or even the same day it arrives, right? They've got such a high level of trust. Everybody knows Amazon. So people don't worry about trust. And that's why you, Joe Blogs, watching this video, you can launch a brand on Amazon. And I never have to have seen that brand before. And I just trust it because people just think it's Amazon. They don't really associate it with like third-party sellers, right? So for these reasons, I don't think Amazon is going away anytime soon. But the way that you need to use Amazon has definitely changed. And if you don't adapt, if you're still listening to gurus that don't actually have an e-commerce brand, then you're going to struggle. So the problems and why I'm making a video like this and why other people are saying the same things, it's pretty simple. And you probably heard of one of these or a combination of these when people talk about Amazon FBA. You've got the rising cost of advertising. Every single year, it's getting more expensive. And the reason for that is because Amazon makes a lot of money charging you to advertise on the platform. So you can't deny that. Every single year it goes up and it's getting more and more difficult. You've got more Chinese sellers. Chinese sellers pretty much dominate Amazon. They're the best at doing Amazon because they can get the best prices. And Amazon isn't really a platform that you go to buy branded products. If you know a brand, you might search it on Amazon, but it's pretty much a non-branded platform, right? And that's why the Chinese do so well. The Chinese can have names like Changdong Wang Song as their brand name, and nobody really cares because they just want value for money, right? And that's why Amazon has become so popular. But it's also why the Chinese sellers have started to really dominate Amazon. You've got rising fees. Because of all this combined, you've got smaller margins. Now, can you still launch a product on Amazon and make money? Of course you can. Yes, you really, really can. Like you can do that, right? You might not make tons and tons and you might not have super high profit margins and you're going to struggle in the long run. But in my opinion, it's still an incredible platform to launch products on because of all of these reasons up here, everybody shops on there. So if you know how to get a product and brand it nicely and put it on Amazon, you're going to get sales and you're going to make money. So if you're an e-commerce beginner, it's still a great place to sell your products. But if you want long-term success and you want longevity, then you've got to do things in a little bit of a different way, which is what I'm going to show you in a minute, right? So let's dive into the solution, because we've established that Amazon ain't going away anytime soon. We've looked at what the problems are. So now what is the actual solution to those problems? Now I'm going to do these one by one. And the first one is, you don't only sell on Amazon. Like you saw, we've got our, and this is flashing up here, so I'm going to get rid of it. Like you saw with us, we don't just sell on Amazon now. About 9 months ago, we started to leverage other channels. We diversified away from just selling on Amazon. We listed our products on Shopify properly. We did have a Shopify site before, but we didn't really use it too much. We've also got our products on TikTok now, starting to leverage TikTok Shop. But you don't want to just list your products on Amazon. Unless you're a complete beginner at the very, very beginning of your e-commerce journey and you just want to go through the sort of process of finding a product, speaking to a supplier, ordering some units, branding it up. If you just want to do it to get that experience, then it's great. But if you want long-term success, you need to be building a Shopify site. You need to be listing your products also on TikTok, right? And my advice, if you're new to this, is just start really, really small. Do not come in and try and order $20,000 worth of inventory on your first product. The reality is you don't have the skill set yet to take that level of risk. So don't only sell on Amazon. This is the first thing that you need to understand and take away from this video. Amazon FBA is still great, but not if you're just selling on Amazon. So you need to learn these other platforms. You need to list your products on Shopify and places like TikTok Shop. And you also need to start small. Start small. Don't over leverage yourself. The next thing is, you want to be launching high margin products in big niches that fit the direct to consumer model. Now, the direct to consumer model is consumable or high ticket. Now, I'm going to break down each of these points individually. The first one is, you want to be launching high margin products. Now, what do I mean by high margin? You want a high gross profit margin, right? A very easy way to understand this: if your product costs you $10 to manufacture that product and get it into Amazon, you need to be selling that product for at least 5x whatever it costs. So if it costs you $10, ideally you want to be selling it for $50 or above. The higher that multiple is that you can sell that product for, the better and the easier everything else is, because all of these problems over here become a lot easier when you've got more gross profit to work with. So this is why products that are small and light and you can sell them for a high amount, like supplements and stuff like that. That's why supplements are so popular now. That's why that's why these types of products that are small and light are so good for this, right? Because they've got a high gross margin. The next thing is, we want to be going into big niches. You want to be launching into niches where, if it goes well, you've got the ability to scale. You don't want to handicap yourself by being in a tiny niche. Now, it doesn't mean that you want to be going into all of the biggest trending niches, right? You don't have to launch a super trendy product like beef tallow or apple cider vinegar gummies, like the things that everybody is looking at. But you want to be in a niche where the TAM, or the total addressable market, is really, really big. If it's not, you're just basically, you're going to struggle out of the gate, right? You're making everything 10 times harder for yourself. When you find a product that's got good product market fit, if it's not in a big niche, it's going to be difficult to scale. It needs to fit the D2C model of consumable or high ticket. Now, if you don't have either a consumable product, which is like a subscription-based product, or a higher ticket product, selling your products direct to consumer through Shopify, for example, is going to be very, very difficult. And the reason for that is advertising. It costs so much money on all of these platforms now to advertise and acquire customers, that if you don't have a product that people come back and buy over and over again, which we do. So half of our sales yesterday were from repeat customers. Those are customers that bought one time before. They come back and buy the product again. If you don't have a consumable product or a high ticket product, you're really, really, really going to struggle. So I would recommend pretty much everybody tries to find a subscription-based product. You want to get people to subscribe to your brand and they come back month after month, ideally a product that they use every single day. So you want high margin products in big niches where you've got millions of potential customers. That makes everything easier. And then you want to launch consumable or high ticket products, right? If it's not a consumable, it's better if it's a higher ticket product. $80, $90, $100 plus. Makes everything easier. You want to launch products, in my opinion, where you can actually grow a brand and a community. You want products where people are passionate, right? Now, a good example is Mighty Kids supplements, right? So this is a supplement brand that was launched by a lady called Rachel. Now, it's a brand in the UK. I don't know exactly how big it is, but this is basically a brand that, if we look at, where is it? Loyalty FAQ, about. This is a brand that was launched by a lady called Rachel. Here she is with her family. So she was a health researcher. I think she had some, she studied dietary supplement advisor and she worked at the Health Science Academy. So basically, she has launched a kids supplement brand off the back of her passion for, for health and, for studying diet and all of these types of things. Now, from that, she's been able to build just a crazy, crazy community around this brand. So that makes everything easier because when you're trying to compete against the Chinese sellers, they cannot compete with you if you do things like this. They cannot compete with Rachel, who is this like stay-at-home mom or was a stay-at-home mom that's launched this brand related to her profession. The Chinese sellers cannot compete with this, right? If this is the sort of stuff that you're doing, they've got no chance. All they can do is get the best prices. But the best prices for products like this are not necessarily the brands that win. If I'm a mum and I'm looking to buy a magnesium or a vitamin C product, I'm not looking for the cheapest one. I'm looking for the one that I think is the best for my kids because it's very important that it's healthy. So you need to be thinking about this, in my opinion. You need to thinking about what type of product are you looking to sell, and is it a product that you can grow a brand and a community around? Think about some of the other biggest brands in the world, brands like Represent. So Represent now have created an army of loyal fans. They've got a community where they go everywhere. They go around the world. They go to High Rocks events. They do all this stuff together, right? They've created an army. They've created a movement. And this is something that people cannot compete with if they don't have that. The Chinese sellers are not competing with you if you're doing this type of stuff. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to build a Represent or a Mighty Kids from day one, right? Of course, that's not realistic. But if you start out with this in mind and you pick products where you can potentially do stuff like this, as you gain more skills in e-commerce, it's only going to help you out, and it's going to really, really help you out long term, without a doubt. So that's the next point. Launch products where you can actually grow a brand that people love. So when you say the brand name, they, oh, I love that brand. I've got a bunch of stuff from them and, I get all of my stuff from there. That's the type of thing that what you want to build. You don't just want to sell something that nobody has an idea what they're buying from and nobody cares about the brand. You want to learn how to actually do marketing and create content yourself, right? This is a massive, massive part of being successful with Amazon FBA now, because you don't want to be just seeing Amazon FBA as Amazon FBA. In my opinion, you just want to see Amazon as a market, as a channel where you sell your products. And the best way to win nowadays is learn how to do the marketing and the content creation yourself. Now, we've got a community that's called Honest Creators, where we teach people how to make content, right? So this is my handsome business partner, Jansen. And look, I'm not just shilling this. This is, it's like £50 a month if you want to join this. It's not expensive. But we teach people within this group how to actually create content. So what you can do is you can launch a brand like this lady did, and then you can start to talk about it on TikTok. And guess what? It's absolutely free. Anybody can pick up an iPhone and they can record themselves talking about their own product. They can put those videos on TikTok, and that's going to help you drive brand awareness and drive sales. Now, the better you get at making that content, the better, the easier everything becomes, because you're no longer just relying on PPC. You're no longer competing against Chinese sellers, because guess what? Most of them ain't picking up an iPhone, apart from that dude, that sells the signs. He's probably got one of the biggest Instagram accounts or TikTok accounts, whatever, going. But this is something that the Chinese, they can't compete with you. If you learn how to make quality content, if you learn how to make short form viral content for your own brand, you've just solved one of the biggest problems that most new brands face, which is expensive advertising. So learn how to actually do marketing and create quality content for your own brand. So if you're looking to launch something, in my opinion, it's quite important that it's a product that you can actually talk about yourself when you record yourself and you can post that online, because it just makes everything so much easier. So I would look at launching a product where you are the target demographic. You can pick up your phone, you can talk about the product, the benefits, everything else. And that's basically giving you free content that you can use in your marketing. And what you can do with that content is you can take the best performing organic content and then you can run that as a meta ad or a Facebook ad and on TikTok, right? So if I pick up this, if I launch, I've got some gummy samples here. So this is a liver and energy sample that I just got sent to me, right? Because I was looking at launching a similar brand, right? If I launch this brand and this is a product that I can use, I can pick up my iPhone and I can be like, so I used to have a lot of problems with this, and this. And then I started taking this and then my problems have all gone away. Obviously, it's a little bit deeper than that. But essentially, if I launch this brand and it's a brand that I can talk about, I've basically got the option to make free content. And then when I see the best performing organic content, like if I talk about the benefits of this in relation to my liver health, for example, and I see that that goes viral with TikTok, it gets 20,000 views, 30,000 views, 40,000 views, which is very realistic, then I can take that and I can turn that into a paid advertisement, because I know that that content is resonating with people. I know that that content is driving sales. So I can take it and I can put some advertising budget behind it instead of just guessing what's going to work. So what you can do is you can start completely for free marketing your own products through TikTok Shop, through Instagram, whatever, and then you can take the best performing content and you can use it as adverts. And it's the easiest way as a beginner to do this without wasting tons of money, because everyone's got an iPhone or an Android if you're a brokey. But everybody's got a phone. Everybody can start making content. You don't even need to show your face. You can do it faceless just by recording the packaging and doing a voiceover. So take the best organic content and use it as ads on Meta and on TikTok. And this is going to teach you the most valuable skill for e-commerce right now, and that's content creation. Doesn't matter what platform you sell on. If you're really good at making content, you're going to have a good time, right? So once you find product market fit, once you've got a product that you can see people are buying and they're interested in, your conversion rate is good, your profit margin is good, invest more money at this point and then scale it. Scale it with more advertising, more meta advertising, hire people to make content for you, properly invest in your PPC budgets on Amazon, and then just scale your brand to the moon. And that's what we're looking to do right now. At the minute, like I said, we're doing about $10,000 a day. We want to get to $30,000 a day, $40,000 a day, $50,000 a day. And we're going to do it because now we know we've got product market fit with this brand and these new products that we've launched. And now it's just time for us to scale, right? It's time for us to scale. So looking at this woman, for example, she probably just launched this as like an MVP. She probably just started with a couple of products, maybe even one product. And then she probably just started talking about it on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever. And then she saw that people really liked it. She saw people were buying it and were interested in it. And then she started to scale it. So don't over leverage yourself from the beginning. You don't need to spend tens of thousands to start doing this, right? Start small. Find a product that fits these categories, that it's got a high margin. It's in a big niche. Look at this, high margin product, supplements. It's in a big niche. Create your own content. Learn how to create content. List it on Amazon. Also list it on Shopify. List it on TikTok Shop. Once you see product market fit, invest more money and then scale. And that is how you crush Amazon FBA in 2025. It's not so much to do with Amazon FBA anymore. It's to do with multi-channel. It's to do with making great content. It's to do with high margin products that are consumable products. And I think that's it. We're coming up to 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And I will see you in the next one. But in the meantime, I can't get my words out when I'm trying to speak this much. Go and watch this video here that we recently did because it's great. I'll see you in the next one.